fifth one would go there, sixth one would go here. It is as complete as it can get in the current state because I'm out of nails. Welcome to Time by the Tent. Another weekend here, extended weekend here up at the land. Just got up here, 79 I think for a high today. Big storms rolling through this evening, mid 70s tomorrow, and then Saturday, I think 60s, and Saturday night 38 for a low and 52 for a high on Sunday. Just kind of walking my way around the campsite. Already had damage to the archery target, the one I bought brand new. I'm assuming a squirrel, rat, mouse, something climbed up there and chewed the top of it open and chewed the strap off. So I had to duct tape that all up. Hopefully that will hold and will prevent whatever was chewing on it to not come back. I mean, whatever they chewed on it and then left, and they didn't chew anymore. So that's disappointing, but nothing stays good for a long time, I guess. The two old target, the one on the left, are we've had up here year round, hung on that old bow hanger for 2 years, and nothing ever happened to it. And the new one that I bought on the left that was used at the thrift store, nothing's wrong with that one, but it's the brand new one I spent $30 on. The handle got chewed off of it and opened up the top corner. Oh well, that's one of them things. So I got to get the rest of the stuff out of the car. Appreciate you coming along. We will start a project. I think one of the first projects, going to try to get this thing skinned. We got it all framed up last week. This is the outdoor storage shed, so try to get that done before the storms come tonight. I won't bring in the woods, but I got to switch out or maneuver a trail camera because it has not been working. So I'm going to move it and do some fiddling with it and see if I can get that to work. So appreciate you coming along. I got the tent to clean, got 3 days to get that done, and other projects around here that I'll bring you along with. This is the steps in which I'm working on. I just roughly cut them out. I got to define them more and then put the blocking in. Mosquitoes are really bad. They have come out now. I guess that's the official sign of summer. So I got to figure out that root. I may have to cut some of that root out. Go a little bit to the left there. I'll figure all that. I want to get one step in and see how that looks, and I'll show you when I get done with that. Not really a here's how to do it. This is just, I thought about this all winter. This used to look like that, just a slope, and this is the lowest portion of the property on one side of the ATV trail to get to the other. And then I'll cut a trail at some point where the blind's going to be over there. So I came up here working on that step, or them steps, which is 75 yards that way. And right here, I didn't get video of it, turkey was walking through here. It is turkey season. I do have tags. A tag, very certain it was a hen. It saw me and it just took off flying, which they can run, run at 15 miles an hour and fly at 50 miles an hour for short distances or something like that. I've had hens up here. I've had 2 hens up in this area on camera when I've not been here. It's a Thursday afternoon. Clearly they thought I wasn't here because they must keep a calendar. So I walked down there with a call, and it's gone. But I do not believe the tininess of the body, it would have been a gobbler. But even if it was, I didn't get a shot at it because I wasn't thinking there would be birds in camp here. So I'm still working on the step down there, and I'll show you when I get that couple of steps done. I have completed 4 steps. 5th one would go there, 6th one would go here, and then I've got to find out, I mean, we've got a pretty good slope there, so I might cut levels out at this point, pull those leaves back, because from this, where that 6th step would be to where I'm standing here, there's a 4 foot decline there. So I might come, I've got to put another step here, maybe another step here, and then cut a landing out here, and make another step and cut another landing out, and then add feed to that. So I've got enough for 2 more steps that I've got prepped. That's all I'm going to do for right now. But yeah, 1 step here, another step here. You could probably get 2 more steps in there and kind of get a good spot, but a lot better than that or what you saw previous. And I took the rock from the trail, so that'll help kind of firm it up. Very nice. I'll work on that some more tomorrow. That chain on the handheld chainsaw, I know it's shot. It still will cut, but I had to use it to cut roots out of the dirt. And it was a lot better to use that than a chainsaw, because that's probably going to be a little cheaper to sharpen. I do need to get a second blade for that. So I'll figure out what the next project is. I'll prep some more of those steps because I've got enough for 2 more, and I might as well make, I've got 6, I might as well go 8 steps down and then see where I'm at, because that's what the division of splitting logs would require. I do have one here that I split with a chainsaw, but I want to save that. That's kind of nice, too nice for steps. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Surprised to see that turkey up here. I don't think it was a male gobbler. Could have been, I don't know. Didn't have a gun, so really didn't matter. For supper, gonna have fish. You typically bake this. I put vegetable oil down so it doesn't stick to the aluminum foil, and then also gonna warm up some carrots. Doing it early because the storms are coming in, and based on what the TV says and based on what my app says, it's an end of the world, or we'll get very little to nothing. So I'm gonna get supper going here and show you whenever it's done. If you're new, we have this electric cooler running off of this Everlast power station we got sent and we did a review on. Absolute game changer. I got some cold root beer in there, Powerade. It's just, we don't have to worry about things ice thawing for a 2 or 3 day, a 3-day 2-night trip. We can put her down, we had it at the house, we can put it down like -6, but when you keep it around 35, that 96,000 milliamp battery will last about 4 days, three and a half days. So I'm gonna get supper cooking and I'll show you when I'm done. We got fried, well, not fried fish, but it was fried, it's warmed up fish, and canned carrots. I could have took them out of the aluminum foil and got them a little more crisp, but I didn't want to have too big of a fire because we got rain coming in, and why build up a fire when put some tartar sauce on these and they'll be fine. The rain is still coming down a little bit. The big stuff fell apart before I got here. So I had this here, hung that picture up, just ran it off the support beam. That's secure there, and then roped it off on the edge there. And we'll see how long that stays. I think it'll be fine. Got all these boxes that we've collected. You can still hear it raining. I'm going to go outside and light these on fire in the fire pit to get rid of them, because now we can do that. Oh, here's another box here. And there's some in the storage tent out there as well, but get rid of all of them because we don't need them anymore.
Going to peaceful pines to a land in Northwoods of Wisconsin to spend time by the tent, camping in the peacefulness of the woods where food is cooked over the fire and the world stands still. Peaceful pines to our land in the Northwoods of Wisconsin to spend time by the tent, camping in the peacefulness of the woods where food is cooked over the fire and the world stands still. To spend time by the tent, camping in the peacefulness of the woods where food is cooked over the fire and the world stands still.
Well, that was interesting, exciting. I did that, and a lot of the debris was flying kind of up in the tree areas. So everything's nice and wet, so we don't have to worry about anything catching fire. So that's good. Good morning. 54 last night, didn't have the stove going, was warm enough. In the sleeping bag. So I'm not going to take you down, I'm going to put 2 more steps in right now. And then I will bring you over and we will start working on preparing the skin for our outdoor shed, which the skin will be the canvas dumpster bags that we had put the tent in the first winter, the small tent, and we no longer need them because we have the cable up here and then that big giant 40 by 40 tarp. So we're going to utilize those dumpster bags because there's no resale value that I have found on them, and I can utilize them much more. I can utilize them here more than making $2 or $3 a bag off of them, selling them on a resale site. This is what the dumpster bags look like. I call them canvas dumpster bags. They're a waste management bag. If my measurements are correct, 2 of these, which I have another one in the tent, will cover that frame. What I need to do is I need to take and cut the corners down to get it completely flat, and then I can start wrapping it around, because I'm 4 foot and 2.5 foot, 4 foot across the base, 2.5 foot on each side vertically. So my measurements are correct. That should work. So the way these are sewn, I do not have to physically cut, so I can get a solid seam here. They're like feed sacks, if you're familiar with farm feed sacks. Let me try. The way that they're sewn is they're intertwined, and I just cut the top and the bottom knots, and they pull right out. This bottom would be the same too, but I'm not going to dismantle that. So it opens up quite nicely. I just got to cut the top knot and the bottom knot, and that thing unravels, so I have a clean seam here with no fray. So that works out really well. Just a little extra time, I may get a little more longevity out of it. The dumpster bag is not a true 4x8, which I never accounted for that. We've got this much left over once I would affix it to the back. Now with the other one, I do have to cut the door out of, so that should give me a little extra material. I don't know how much more material I'll need. I mean, I take the door and do all this other stuff. So it kind of almost is going to be like a, maybe turn into a lean-to. I don't know. I'm going to piece together what I've got, and I'll show you the final results, because this is more of a, here's what we got going on. Try to figure this out as I go. And mosquitoes are really bad with that rain that came in through last night. I've got the front and the back and the top. Now I just got to cut some pieces out and then run, take some more boards and run a couple of rafters from front to back instead of across, right to left. That's going to be better. And then we'll see how many pieces, how much I've got left, or how much I'm short. And then I can figure out how to fill in the gaps with a piece of plywood or something of that nature. But looks pretty good for what I had envisioned for just an outdoor storage shed. It is as complete as it can get in the current state, because I'm out of nails. You can see I do need to fix one here, a couple here. I'm out of roofing nails. Used everything I had, which those are free. Those are given to us. And see, back here, we're not totally closed. I can tuck another nail in or two, but it's not supposed to be, or it's not going to be airtight, wind tight, rodent proof. Just a way to get some stuff inside. I will fasten the bottom around and then throw dirt up along that once those are all fastened. And I don't know about a door yet. I have a door in which I can put on there. 59 inches to the height of the bottom there, a little under 5 foot, and utilized every part of both dumpster bags, and did some trimming here and there to take pieces off, because the measurements in which I was understood them to be was not accurate. So I'm pleased with it. A lot of room in here to put a lot of stuff. At some point when we get a driveway, all of this here will get graded along over here where the parking pad's going to be, or the parking area is going to be. But all of this from that tree there all through here, that tent's going to get gone, be removed. That's going to get leveled. All that's going to get leveled. So I can still get the wagon in there. Got somewhere to put the wagon. Very pleased with that. No, I think I used like, well, yeah, I used like six screws, 1.5-inch screws that I had bought, and the 3-inch screws. The roofing nails were all free. The wood was all from down trees from the ice storm, and the dumpster bags was what we purchased in fall of 2023 in order to encapsulate or dismantle the tent and the contents of the small tent in and overwinter it before, like I talked about, we got that, we engineered the A-frame tarp to go over it. All right, I'm going to get the campfire going because it is lunchtime. We'll be having sliced beets and these little beef smoked sausages for lunch. Beautiful day, 74 for a high, 50 for a low, 52 tomorrow for a high, 38 tomorrow night for a low. So it is going to get back chilly a little bit. Quite pleased with that shed. I think I will put a door on it. That upper portion, if you look at the door, it's much wider at the top than the bottom because of the logs. So I can just take another small diameter log and affix it to the left-hand side until I need to angle it off to finish filling in the gaps when I bring another door up. I think that's it'll make it cleaner. It'll keep the air from coming in and possibly blowing out the back. So took the small tent down. Those boxes will get burnt. We packed everything in here. It's full. The cat litter bag is for non-food metals, scrap metal items. But I do have room for a couple more items. Can stack some stuff up there. The big tarp is going to go on that tub there. Got a shelf back there for 2x4s and lumbers, conventional lumber. So very pleased with that. I think we'll end up doing a door on there just to clean it up. So happy with that. See what the next thing is to try to accomplish. Getting intermittent showers right now, and that's what was forecasted. Took the small tent down. Those boxes will get burnt. We packed everything in here. It's full. The cat litter bag is for non-food metals, scrap metal items. But I do have room for a couple more items. Can stack some stuff up there. The big tarp is going to go on that tub there. Got a shelf back there for 2x4s and lumbers, conventional lumber. So very pleased with that. I think we'll end up doing a door on there just to clean it up. So happy with that. See what the next thing is to try to accomplish. Getting intermittent showers right now, and that's what was forecasted. Burning those boxes I had left over out of the storage tent. It's raining, so we're in good shape. That should be all the boxes that I have. Gonna have showers overnight, possibly showers tomorrow. Burnt those boxes, gonna let that kind of die out. Now getting the fire going back again. Gonna eat the rest of the fish. And I don't know what else I've got can wise. Let's see. Beautiful night, 65-ish degrees, gonna get down to 44. We got green beans, Catalini beans, Spam, green beans, I guess green beans because that's what I've got. Corned beef and hash, gonna have that tomorrow for lunch. So then I got baked potato with steak and cheese, and then I still got a kielbasa in the fridge. Add a little tartar sauce to that and be good to go. Really got windy again, but that's the way it goes. I don't know if I'll make green beans or not, but if I do, you know what they look like. So I think that's going to be all for tonight, unless something exciting happens. I will see you in the morning with a list of things to work on. Good morning. About 50 degrees last night. It's 54 right now in the tent. Not unbearable, very comfortable in the sleeping bag. Had some rain and it's been windy all night long. So you're gonna see what my list shows. I need to hang one new trail camera, move one trail camera, do some firewood cutting. Some of this I'll bring you along for. Others you've seen it before, so you don't need to see it again. And then I do need to continue to organize the tent and try to get that cleaned, or this cleaned. It is 17 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday. So it was in the mid 70s yesterday. It's I think 60 for a high today, and that's mid-afternoon. Had the fire going last night. We'll have it again going tonight, and that is what I know. Getting lunch going. Corned beef and hash and yams. Down by where the car's parked, I went and cut wood there and piled it up down there for about an hour. didn't need to bring you along. You know what wood cutting looks like. And then I took another chunk off the cherry tree, the wild cherry that went down, and I'll split that in little chunks like that for the smoker to top off my box. But the premise is down there. I'll take you down there and show you what's going on with what used to be the wetlands. Now it's drying up and trees are all dead down there. So after I get done with lunch, I'll show you that. I don't know if it's going to rain or not. It's getting awful cloudy. I need to hang the one new trail camera and then switch the SIM card to the other and move it deeper in the woods. So I'm not going to bring you along either for that, just documenting that for when I look back on the videos to figure out what I've done. My video diary, I guess. So thank you for hanging out with me. Do you like corned beef and hash? Put that in the comments below if yes for corned beef and hash or no. It is now supper time. Just kind of tell you what I did. Moved the trail camera, tried to hook up another trail camera, but the external battery kept, the camera kept saying low battery on the external. So it's the brand new one, so I'll buy a lithium insert and run it that way, which is a better way to go than what I'm doing with the external power boxes. Went out for an hour and cut trails from when the ice storm hit. I've still got another hour of trails to cut in order to get to the final deer stand that I've got. And then I did clean up some areas where it dropped limbs in order to try to funnel the deer in better. And then I've got an hour over here cutting a trail from where those steps are into the woods to where Holly's blind will be, which is 386 feet from the trail. And so that has pretty much taken up most of the afternoon. I did sit down a little bit, but trying to get as much done as possible while it's cool, because I've cut wood in August when it's 80 degrees outside in the full sun, and that's not fun. So that's why I'm trying to cut as much wood. I got to take you down and show you that. I do have another trail that would be another hour of cutting that gives me access point to this side that I can work around. It's nice to walk through there during hunting season. So about 3 hours more of trail cutting, and we should be back where we were before the ice storm happened. Okay, so here's what I've got down here. That's all for the stove, and most of that's going to get split as well. Stack in the wood hut, as well as just stack that split, because some of these they're just not going to burn. They're too big. And then all of this is campfire wood, because I don't want to burn the good stuff. And I've got, these trees have tipped over because this is very sandy soil. So I've got roots that I've just cut, and that'll burn for, almost a full day. This here is wetlands. You can see way down there, there's water. When we bought the property, the water line was probably right in that area, like 30, probably right in here, 30 feet in front of me. It was way up here and has continued to recede. In the summer, that dries up, not to the point where you can walk. It's just a mucky slop at that point. Used to be beavers, somewhere the water's draining. I don't know. The beavers were harvested illegally. This here in about 3 weeks will be chest high. You can already see where things are growing. So the next 2 weeks, I'm leaving all of the dead standing stuff. So if I do need to get in here for a project, for post, whatever, I can find it. All of this that I have cut over there is stuff that's on the ground that has fallen down or has been laying here for a while. That's why the campfire stuff is kind of on the mucky side. Like this tree here was down, that tree there. I still got more to cut there. There's 2 back there. There's 1 way over there. That's all pine. And then there's big tooth aspen, which is a really soft wood. And I'm sure there's other species of wood in here. But all of that I'm going to leave as much standing. I'm not going to touch any of the standing stuff. And oh, there's a big log right there. So I've got what's on the ground that I've just pointed out to you, another pile like this here. So that should get me fairly close to completing the wood supply for the year. We've ran the stove up in July before because the nights are damp and they're in the high 40s. But I would run the softwood through it, and then we always see, especially last year, it was like a 60-degree weekend, and then the bottom fell out midweek, and from then on out the highs were like in the upper 30s and lows are in the high teens, low 20s. So I'd clean the stovepipe and then get it ready for winter burning as well. So just to show you what I'm doing, not applicable to your situation, but just giving you a little what's what here. It's supposed to be 38 for a low tonight. I'm gonna get supper going, and I got to vacuum the tent. I brought the other power station up. Yep, I got to vacuum. I got to organize the tent, try to get it clean, because we just kept bringing stuff up the last 5 weeks. I do need to change the chainsaw chain and take that in. I've got this log here I need to cut out for a DVD VHS tower at the house, because I got more, and it'll fill that, and that'll be pretty much, I'm looking for 2 more to complete part of a set. Alright, the front tent is clean. Some of that goes out in storage, the rest of that goes home with me. Same thing underneath. Some of that will go home, most of that will go home. Running the vacuum off the EcoFlow 2, I think it is. Is that what it is? The EcoFlow. We bought that one, we bought the Jackery, we bought, and the Blue Eddy, we bought all of them. So now, this one back here is a little more all out of sorts, but I'll do what I can tonight. I'll do what I can tonight and finish it up tomorrow before I leave. Good morning. Cold. I think it was 38 last night. 54 in the tent was about as cold as it got. I had the stove going. Windy, overcast. Supposed to get to 60s. Got a long way to go. While we're talking here, let's see what the temperature is. I'm going to fuel up the chainsaw and go back in the woods and cut another trail out that the trees, oh wow, we're 44 degrees, that the ice storm has covered over, and that will take care of a little bit more that I won't have to do in coming weeks. So won't bring you along, you know what a chainsaw and cutting trees over a trail looks like, but just wanted to show. And then I did get the tent completely clean. Once I get packed up, I'll show you that. Looks very, very nice and organized. There's still a couple of things that I do want to bring up that we have up here in the instance that we may want to use it. Wrapping things up for the day. Made another DVD VHS tape. Yeah, I watch VHS tape hunting videos. That'll hold 8 VHS tapes or 16 DVDs. Here's what the tent looks like. Organized to the best of its ability and cleaned, vacuumed. Everything's getting in its place. And that's going to do it for this week. Appreciate you coming along. Did a lot of things off camera because it just doesn't make for good video to watch me cut wood or cut trails or split wood or anything like that. So let's put spring in the comments if you made it this far. SPRING, to let me know that you made it this far. The 5 people that have, I appreciate that very much. And until next time, we'll see you then.